Hello, everybody. This is Amani Katana joining you virtually all the way from Mombasa, Kenya. And first and foremost, I would like to thank the organizers of this conference for inviting me to join you virtually amid the COVID-19 crisis. We all know that the current situation we are in today, the business environment has been shaken from market to finance to operations to supply chain. The ground has been disrupted, and only those that will survive this pandemic are those who will react, rethink, and be able to adapt to the new normal. And that is why when I was asked to join you virtually, I was like, oh yeah, it's a great thing to see that young people are embracing change and adapting to the new normal. So today I was asked to speak about how to identify good business in this 21st century. But before I do that, I would like to share my story and my entrepreneurial journey before I get back to the topic of the day. So I grew up in a low-income area in Changamwe, one of the most vulnerable areas in Mombasa, on the west side of Mombasa. And when I was growing up, I never thought I would end up where I am today. But even though my upbringing was humble, my family and my community helped me achieve some obstacles in order to achieve my biggest dream. That is why today I'm so proud and excited to speak to you about how to identify a business idea in this 21st century as an entrepreneur myself. I run two organizations here in Mombasa, and the first business that I run is GAPTEC, which is a solid waste management business that focuses on garbage collection, recycling, and sensitizing the community on proper waste management practices. We've been actively engaged in this business for the last 3 years, and we have received a lot of recognition both locally and internationally, and we have built a brand and expertise in this field. I also run a non-profit organization known as Youth Empowerment Program Initiative, popularly known as EAYEF. And at EAYEF, we empower young people so that they can start their own businesses and be agents of change in their community. The idea was built in order to address unemployment, poverty, and violent extremism in the coastal region of Kenya. And we do this by bringing together young people from across all the regions in the coast in order to build unique skills on entrepreneurship and innovation, leadership development, and environmental conservation. To date, we are proud to have impacted over 3,500 young people with the resources that they need to succeed in business. So that's briefly about me and what I do. And back to the main topic of today, how do you identify a good business idea? And in this topic, I will talk about two things. In my topic, I will talk about 3 steps to identify a good business opportunity. And I have also prepared 5 advices to young and emerging entrepreneurs. So before that, I'd like us to define what do we mean by entrepreneurship for the 21st century. And entrepreneurship for the 21st century is all about the process of getting a new venture started, growing this venture, repeating again and again, and most of the time using few or little resources. However, it's important to note that entrepreneurship for the 21st century requires a different kind of mindset. It's not about just making money. It's not about being famous or investing in new things. In this changing world, entrepreneurship for the 21st century is all about solving the most frustrating problem for your customers. It's about making a difference. It's about the people, the planet, and then the profit will follow. So knowing all this, how does one identify a good business idea in this 21st century? Think about a problem in your community and try to find the root cause of this problem and why it is existing and why it still happens again and again. An example could be if in your community young girls are denied access or the right to education, you need to ask yourself questions. Why are these girls not going to school? Is it because they live in poor families that they can't afford to buy books and instead they need to work to help their families? Is it because the school is far from where they live? Is the school a safe space? Is the school a violent place? Does it have proper sanitation? Once you ask yourself all these questions and dig deep to understand the root cause of the problem, then you are almost halfway in solving this problem. So here are the three essentials elements that you need to consider when identifying a business opportunity for the 21st century. And this could apply to everyone, whether in Africa or worldwide. So number one, you need to identify a problem. You need to identify a need. And just like I said, entrepreneurship for the 21st century is all about solving the most frustrating problems for your customer. So the number one thing that will help you identify a good business idea is that you are solving a need or a problem for your customer or for the community. Once you identify the needs and wants of your customers and you position yourself to satisfy the needs and the wants of your customer, then you are in a better position to succeed in this business. So number one rule is identify a market, identify a need and a problem. It's not about copying. It's not about seeing other people doing and you also want to do that. It's about identifying a problem or a need in your community and position yourself as a smart entrepreneur to solve this business or to solve this challenge. Entrepreneurship for the 21st century is all about solving the most frustrating problems for your community. And once you solve someone's problem, they will definitely come back. And if you're not solving a problem, you need to ask yourself, why are you doing this business? The next thing that you need to consider when developing or coming up with a new business idea is you need to identify a market. You need to ask yourself, is there a market for this business? Sometimes people confuse a need and a market. These are two different things. A market is people who will bring money to your business. So you have already identified the business idea. And then the second thing that you need to ask yourself or to find out is to research about the current market. Are there enough people to buy from you? Are there people who are willing to buy from you? How many are they? Where are they located? What do they do? What do they think? And also find out where or how are they solving the current problem. Once you have the answers to all these questions, then you will be in a better position to take your business to the next level, because business is built by paying customer. This is the most essential thing in any kind of business, a paying customer. You could have a very brilliant technology, you could have a very good innovation, you could have a very good customer service, but if there is no single paying customer for your business, then it's difficult for you to penetrate in the market. So the most important thing that you need to identify for your business, you need to identify a paying customer. And this is the market. A market is not a place, it's not a building, it's the people who will buy from you. And for these people to buy from you, you need to develop a clear value proposition. They need to see what is the exchange of their money in return to your product or service. And once someone sees the value for your business, they will definitely buy from you. The third and most important thing that you need to consider is this business viable? Is it going to be sustainable for 1, 2, 3, or 4 years to come? You won't be able to pull resources. You won't be able to pull the right team. You won't be able to pull the right investors if your business is not viable or if your business is not sustainable. And the best way to ensure that your business is sustainable is to link it with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So these goals were designed to solve the problems that are currently affecting the whole world. And these challenges are universal. The problem that you're solving for young people in Mombasa, or the problem that you're solving for early child pregnancies in Kwale, or the problem that you're solving for lack of fair education in Tanzania, could be the same problem that is affecting other people globally. Therefore, the best way to ensure that your business is sustainable is to link them with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, from ending poverty to equality to economic empowerment to climate action. All these 17 goals are there to ensure that companies, organizations, governments, individuals, and small businesses are there to them, or they link their businesses to these goals. These are the most 3 things that you need to consider when you are developing a new business opportunity. And once you have all this, it doesn't stop there. You need to get out of the building. Entrepreneurship is built or it goes hand in hand with innovation. And sometimes people think that because you're successful or because your business has grown, then you don't need to innovate. You're getting it wrong. Just like marketing, innovation is an everyday thing in any business. Whether small or big, entrepreneurship goes hand in hand with innovation. Go out of the market, talk to customers, and you might get so many no's than yeses, but you need to understand that no business survives its first interaction with customer. People will say no in the first place, but a no today does not mean that it is a no every day, okay? So get out of the building, innovate every day. And when I talk about innovation, I don't mean big innovations. I don't mean big technologies, softwares, or applications. Innovation could simply be a faster delivery process. Innovation could simply be providing a solution to the ongoing challenges in your community. That's what I mean by innovation. So innovation is an everyday thing, and it's not a big thing. It could be a simple thing like solving real-time problems for your community or ensuring faster delivery of product or services. The arrogance of success is to think that what you did yesterday will be sufficient tomorrow. As an entrepreneur, you need to stay hungry. You need not to be satisfied or contented with whatever you have. You need to push yourself. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to experience the challenges and the failures before you see the true meaning of success. And to end this presentation, I have prepared some advices for emerging and young entrepreneurs. I believe, and it will be my most satisfying moment if I know that 1 or 2 people from this conference will go and start their own businesses as a regard to these insights and knowledge that I have shared with you. So I have prepared 5 advices for young and emerging entrepreneurs from the East Africa. So one advice is start local. You don't need to start big. Start with the little that you have and grow from there. Start with your local community. Many people think that success is starting big or having everything in place, but that's not true in business. Like I said, entrepreneurship is about using the little resources that you have. So start with the little resources that you have in your local community. Don't grow fast or don't expand bigger if you have not exhausted your local community. If you are able to solve a local problem within your local community and be able to get leads from that and be able to get 2 or 3 customers from that, then that shows that you're solving a real problem, and that shows that this business can be viable anywhere else. So don't despise small beginnings. Don't despise humble beginnings. Start local and grow from there. The second advice that I have prepared for you, emerging and young entrepreneurs, as you go ahead and develop business ideas in this 21st century, is you need to think globally. Today, courtesy of technology, today, courtesy of globalization, the world is in our hand. Within a short period of time, we are able to understand what is going in Far East, what is going in South America, what is going in West Africa. So let us use these available resources to think globally and be able to use these global solutions in local problems. When I was starting my presentation, I talked about problem that could be happening in Mombasa could be the same problem that is happening in other parts of the country. So let us use the globalization, or let us think globally, or let us benchmark globally with other businesses in other parts of the world to bring local solutions in our local communities. Advice number 3 is you need to put people first. Business is built by people. Research shows that those people who get opportunities in life, it could be business opportunities, it could be jobs, they got this through people that they know. Therefore, as a smart entrepreneur, for you to be able to remain resilient, for you to be able to stay successful in this field, you need to put people first. Design with the end user in mind. You might be passionate about this product. You might be passionate about this service. You might be passionate about this business of yours. But remember, it is not about you. It is about the end user, the person that you are designing for. Therefore, every decision, every step, every move that you take, you need to put people first, because people are the ones that will help your business to kick fast and furious. Advice number 4 to emerging and young entrepreneurs is you need to embrace learning. Remember, I talked about staying hungry. Entrepreneurs are not satisfied with the status quo, and that is why entrepreneurs are called disruptors, because they want to disrupt. They are not satisfied with how things are done. And if you look at all innovative businesses of today, they were built because people were not satisfied with the status quo. Who say that if you need to go from point A to point B, you have to rent a taxi? Who say that if you want to go for a vacation, you must stay in a hotel? This is why businesses like Uber and Airbnb were created, because people wanted to disrupt the industry. They were not satisfied with the status quo, and that's why they were able to innovate. So ask yourself so many questions. Why is this happening? Why is this not happening? Why is this working this way? And in doing so, you are learning. Learning is a lifelong process, and as a smart entrepreneur, you need to build and strengthen your knowledge by learning today, tomorrow, and every day. Learning should end when you are dead. But so long as you are alive and in business, make sure that you learn through books. You can read both fiction and non-fiction books. Make sure you learn through listening. You could learn through traveling, visiting libraries, visiting local chambers of commerce, visiting community-based organizations. All these are unconventional way of learning. Find a mentor. This is also one way of learning. Get somebody who could push you. Get somebody who could show you tough love. Get somebody who will tell you when things are wrong, and get somebody who will pump you when you are doing great. And the last and final advice that I have prepared for you is you need to believe in God and make hope your weapon. Remember, you will always be as young as your faith, and you will always be as young as your hope. You need to be hopeful in the face of difficulties. You need to be hopeful in the face of challenges. You need to remain hopeful that tomorrow will come. Those who succeed in business and those who do not succeed, the only differentiating factor is those who succeed have remained optimistic and hopeful even in the face of challenges, even in the face of difficulties. Entrepreneurship is not an easy journey. You will feel lonely, you will feel abandoned, you will feel isolated, but those who remain hopeful are the ones who will see tomorrow and succeed in the business. Without hope, we are nothing. Without hope, we are like a dead person who is walking. Thank you, everybody. It was nice joining you virtually, and I can't wait to connect with you in my social media handles at Amani Katana. Thank you and have a lovely day.